Hey friends, welcome back. Another beautiful day here in Kentucky, and Swarmageddon is officially on. So yesterday I caught 3 primary swarms, and of course I barely had my coffee this morning. Made the mistake of coming out here and looking around, and of course the bees are already doing their thing. So we've got a nice swarm out here in the bush next to the swarm trap, which also had a swarm in it. As you can see up there, I don't know if you can see it, bees coming and going, but we've got this nice little swarm. Hey girls, right here. Pretty good size. Super easy to get to. We love those, don't we? But I'm excited to get to use, for the first time, my Hive Butler. So I know I teased a few months ago, after I went to the North American Honeybee Expo, that I was able to partner with a couple of the vendors there and get a chance to use their product. And the Hive Butler was one of them. And Tracy, I hope I got her last name right, is the founder and creator of the Hive Butler, and she is from northern Indianapolis, which is where I came from before I moved down to Kentucky. So we kind of hit it off there in terms of what's been going on in Hamilton County and the surrounding area. So Tracy is a super nice person. She gave me a really nice demonstration on the Hive Butler and all of its uses. One of them being swarm catching, and I love catching swarms, so I told her I'd love to be able to give the Hive Butler a test run, and she thought it was a great idea. So since swarms have been leaving super fast so far this year, I'm gonna go ahead and run into the pole barn, grab my Hive Butler, and let's go ahead and rehome these girls. Here we go. So the Hive Butler is this nifty little tote that is like a traditional tote, except it has one major helpful difference, and that is it holds your frames in here. And so, as I prepare to go get this swarm, I'm going to set maybe 4 or 5 frames in here. I'm going to space them apart because I want the bees to be able to have lots of room to cling to this comb. Okay. And yeah, this is a little older comb, but that's okay. Swarms love that stuff. And then I've got one that was just getting started to be drawn. I'm going to put that over here. But this, the great thing about the Hive Butler, push these down. And look, you can see that it's strategically built to be able to, it presses up against these frames so that they stay in place. Isn't that awesome? Check that out. Right? So when you're in here moving things around, when you got the bees in here or transporting them, you don't have to worry about this comb smacking up against each other and harming your bees. Now I opted for the one that has the gate on the front because this also doubles as a bottling, what do you want to call it? Like a bottling tub for when you do your honey extraction. However, I intend to use this just for swarm capturing. That's just, personal preference, but isn't that great? And then, we'll see if I open this up and I get the queen in here, if the bees do the march through this opening. I'm really curious to see if I'm successful in having that happen. So the other nice thing about the Hive Butler, it's got ventilation built in. So when you get the swarm in here, immediately put this on. You don't have to worry about the bees getting overly heated or too hot. You got plenty of ventilation on the top here, and it just makes it super easy to transport your swarm and the frames after you capture it. Put this in the back of your vehicle, put this in the back of your truck, make sure it's not too hot or in direct sunlight. Plenty of ventilation, and your bees will be just fine. So I got to hurry up and get out there because I don't want to miss that swarm. So here we go. All right, here we go. This one should be relatively easy, fingers crossed. I mean, honestly, I might be able to just get the Hive Butler underneath the swarm here and just shake them right down in there, which would be one of the easiest swarms ever, rather than trying to cut them out of here. So I'm going to see if I can just gently push this under. Well, let me get some of the underlying stuff out of the way here. There it is. Get that out of the way. Okay. Whew, it's already getting warm out here. Oh, look at that. Oh man, does it get any easier? I gotta bring you in for this. We'll do this one-handed. Okay. Look at that. Now that's what I call easy access. So, got my Hive Butler sitting right here. Got my frames ready with drawn comb. Let me go get the lid real quick because I do want to put the lid on, and then I'll open that gate, which will allow any of the stragglers to get inside the Hive Butler as they hopefully nasing off on the entrance there. So, all right, let's go ahead and shake these girls down. All right. Oh, make sure we're focused here. 1, 2, 3. Get them all off there. Yay. Doesn't get any easier than that. I'll pull it out here. Oh, so I got some stragglers. Shake them off. Okay. And let's quickly get our cover on. Try not to smash too many, but sometimes it's kind of hard. All right. Now, what I can do, I think it's on my other side here. Okay, let's turn this around. So, let's go ahead and open this. All right, now let's see if they can figure it out and start nasing offing there at the entrance. I see a few going in. I'm just going to leave this here for a little while. It doesn't get any easier than that, folks. Yep. Some of them are finding the opening there, and it'll just take a little bit. All right, let's go back over here and grab the stand. All right. I just want to check and make sure the queen's not in that little cluster on top. No, I think they're just trying to figure out how to get in. I'm just going to reposition the lid here. And there's several that are figuring it out, and they are going in, which is a good sign. It just takes them a while. I'm sure they're smelling her pheromone through the ventilation there. And maybe, you know, I'm thinking about this out loud as I use this product for the first time. Maybe there should be some sort of temporary cover for that ventilation until all of the swarm gets inside, and then you take that off, just so that the bees aren't confused where the entrance is. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm still figuring this out, so just making my own observations. I do love how easy that was to just put right underneath there and drop the bees straight down in. There's a little bitty ball of a cluster here in the tree where some have gone back to, and I'm just going to shake them off, get them airborne here. There we go. And I see some bees nasenoffing right here. It's telling those flying bees where the queen is. And they're not pouring out of the hive, so that's a good sign. Again, I just think they're a little confused on their entrance here, but time will tell. And they're not really going back to the branch very much, so that's a good sign too. I wonder if I could just give the rest of these a quick shake down and recap them. So let's try that. How about that? Took one little sting there. Okay. There we go. More worried about the red ants down there. All right. Maybe if I reposition this again, I'm just trying to get them to find this entrance here. I don't know if there's a better way to do it or not, but hopefully you all are getting this. Yeah. Oh, I see they're clustering on the side there now. Well, maybe they'll find their way. See them there? All right. Make sure I got that stinger out. Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, this is probably where I should have brought my bee brush. Maybe I could coax them towards the entrance there, but I think I'll go grab that. I'll be right back. Okay, got my bee brush, and I grabbed some burlap. I'm gonna try something here. See if this will work. Get this brush out of the way. I'm gonna try to gently get these bees off here. Okay. And I'm gonna cover this. See if I can't get them figuring out that it's over here. The entrance. Try to... Oh, there's my queen. I just saw her flying with a red dot. So that's why they're not going in. Okay, let's see if they'll settle down if she lands. And I've got a queen cage here. That explains it. She's airborne. And as I suspected, it was my swarm. I just saw a red dot queen flying. So let me see if I can find her and we'll get her inside here. She probably landed in this little group. Ugh. How did I not get her shaken down in there? That's crazy. All right, where is she? Oh, I know you're in there somewhere. Come on. I like to grab her. That definitely explains why they're not marching in. So just pay attention to the bee signs. Hopefully she doesn't go back on the branch. All right. I'm looking for her. I saw her clear as day, though. And she was flying. So now I just got to wait for her to land somewhere. Surprises me that the rest of the bees inside are not pouring out. Because usually that's what happens. Well, isn't this fun? Oh, man. I hope she didn't go back in that bush. Because I see bees clustering now deep inside there. Daggone it. Ugh. Okay. It went from the easiest swarm capture to maybe one that's not so easy. Yeah, I bet she's in here. I gotta try to get these bees airborne. I gotta try to get her airborne again or something. Oh, why she just can't land on the Hive Butler so I could grab her. Okay, well, the best thing I know to do right now is just sit and wait, see where she lands, and once we get a cluster again, I'll resume the video and we'll try to get them in this tote. Okay, that was fun. I got her. Found her. There she is. Nice red dot queen. She's feisty. I'm going to keep her in this queen cage here. Stick it inside the Hive Butler, and you'll see the march. Had to cut most of that brush out, so went from a super easy swarm catch to kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to set her down in the middle of the frames in here. We'll put her... let's get this out of the way. Pull this frame here, and we'll stick her right down in the front. Right where the bees can get a good pheromone there. All right. Okay. Right down in there. Put our lid back on. Try to get some of these bees off here so we're not squishing as many. All right. Now, let's see if they find this entrance. It helps when you have the queen in there. All right. Let's go ahead and cover the ventilation for the time being, and we should get all these flying bees that are over here by the bush. They should start to nasing off there and let everyone know that she's inside. And that burlap gives them a little bit of shade too, because it's warm out here, so I don't want to leave them in the direct sun for too long, but I'd like to get most of these flying bees in, so I'm going to move the Hive Butler just a little closer to where all these are, because that's where they were. Let's see if they can't figure it out now. Shake these bees off that are still on this. There we go. Whew. Now, should be able to find her in there. And this can take several minutes. Well, they're already finding that. They're back on that shrub, so let's see if I can push them further in here. Oh, come on, silly girls. Gosh, surely there's not two queens in there. Well, bees make you scratch your head sometimes. Come on, I mean, she's right there in the queen cage, right at the entrance. Hello? They're going right back to that branch. Okay. And the work continues. Make sure that is open. Sure looks like it to me. Is she still in there? Yeah. Well, she's right there. I don't know. Head scratching. They should be marching right in. She's right in that queen cage. One of my queens from last year. Oh, wait a minute. Are they starting to figure it out? Guess it takes them a while sometimes to find her, but she's sitting right inside there. I would think that they could pick up on her pheromone. Start nasing offing. Okay, well, we'll let this sit here for a little bit and we'll be right back. All right, so they've mostly settled down now. They've all pretty much gone in. I never did have much success with them using the honey gate, but that's okay. I just propped open the lid here with the bee brush, and they've all pretty much gone in underneath the lid. So I'm not sure why they were having such a hard time finding the honey gate entrance, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this Hive Butler, move it over to the apiary, and let's get these girls installed. Okay, let's go ahead and get these girls installed into their new permanent home here. So I've got a 10 frame Langstroth set up. I've got 5 frames of heavily waxed foundation that's empty because a swarm is in wax drawing production mode. So I'm hoping they'll start to draw these out. I've got another one where they've just started, so that'll help them get going. And then inside here, I have 5 frames of drawn comb that I gave the bees when I put the swarm inside. We still have our queen inside in the queen cage. I'm going to leave her in here until I get all of these bees installed. So let's go ahead and get them inside. All right. And they are hugging 2 of the frames pretty well. They've really settled down at this point. So let's go ahead and take this first frame out. It's just got a few bees on it. Stick it in here. All right. Next one, same thing. Just a few bees on the comb. Actually, I'm going to put this one over here. All right, now we got the one that's covered. Nice looking. Oop, see if we can get that leaf out of there. There we go. They really cling to that comb really well. Gives them something to grab onto. Okay. Let's get our next one. It's got quite a few bees on it as well. Really like how this Hive Butler holds the frames in place. That's a huge help. They're not slamming against each other when I transported them over here in the UTV. That was really nice. Okay. Get those pressed against each other. Last frame here. Okay. All right, I'm not sure how she did it, but she got out of here. So we have a Harry Houdini queen. She must have been just small enough to get out of the queen cage. I'll be darned. Well, hopefully she's on one of these frames. That's wild. So much for these. I'll go back to those round tube ones. I'm just going to look for her in here. There's not many bees in here. Quick scan. That's super annoying. You think you got your queen? I'm 99% sure she's in here just because all the bees were staying put. Yeah, she's not in here. So let's take a look at these 2 frames. I'll be darned. It's always something, isn't it, guys? Well, hopefully she's walking around on one of these frames. She's got a nice red dot on her, so I should be able to find her relatively easily. I don't see her yet. See if I use that queen clip anymore. Good grief. I always thought those looked a little wide, but I've used them before and not had any issues, but there she is. Right there. No wonder. She is kind of a slender queen. Let me show you. I guess she didn't have a big enough booty. There she is, right in the middle. You see her? Right there. Middle of the frame. Red dot. So, okay, well, fine. She did her own release. Let's get these bees back in. Okay, let's push these frames in. I don't have my hive tool with me. That would have been smart. I think I need to invest in that hive tool belt magnetic clip thing because I'm awful at leaving my hive tool behind. All right. Well, it is pretty easy to get the bees out of there. I'll say that. That's a nice feature, Tracy, because it's pretty slick on the inside here. That makes that part super easy. All right. Now, since the flow is just starting here and I'm giving them 5 frames of drawn comb, she's immediately going to start laying. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 super onto this colony. And it's drawn comb in the super as well. So these forager bees will be able to go to work right away. Go ahead and put the queen excluder mode on the front entrance here. Get this on top. Gosh, with that queen, maybe she can go right through this queen excluder. Oh well, time will tell. Maybe she won't want to, but kind of a skinny one. Good queen, though. I remember that one of the colonies that, I mean, those red dot queen colonies were performing well, so who knows. Okay, my apologies. Looks like the camera shut off on us. It was in the direct sunlight and it didn't like it. It got overheated. So, but we did get the bees and the swarm successfully installed in their new home, which you saw the majority of the video there. It just cut off on the very end. So I just wanted to give my final thoughts on the Hive Butler. So I think it's a great product. I really, really like what Tracy has done with these slots, these individual slots that hold the frames. I think it's a game changer, being able to transport frames, especially frames that are full of bees that could potentially have your queen on it if your queen isn't Houdini like mine and escaped from her queen clip. Because you don't want those frames slamming against each other while you're transporting it. And the fact that you can turn this every which way and those frames stay exactly where they should be, I think is huge. I do really like the ventilation on the lid here. The only maybe tip I would suggest, and again, I'm just, using this as I go for the first time, and just my initial thoughts on this product. It seems like the bees were a little bit confused. I think even when I placed the queen inside the Hive Butler here, I think her pheromone was coming up through these ventilation holes, and the bees were a little bit confused trying to get through the ventilation instead of finding the honey gate as an entrance into the tote. I don't know, Tracy, if you've thought of this or anything in terms of maybe a possible insert that you could just set right on top of this on each one of these. Again, just set it right on top. Maybe have a little handle. You just set it right on the insets right here with this. That essentially would just temporarily cover this ventilation as the swarm is marching into the tote. And then as soon as they're in there and you close it off, you could remove them so that the bees have proper ventilation and don't get overheated. It just seems like when I was using this, there was a cluster of bees forming right here on top of this comb because they were sensing the queen through the ventilation. Other than that, though, I really like this. I could see myself using this for all my swarm calls. Just, throw this in the back of the truck, grab your bee brush, hive tool, have your frames already in here, and I think it makes swarm catching super simple. I would probably use this on more of the easier, accessible swarms. I don't see myself climbing up a ladder with this. Safety first. Safety is extremely important. And I have another setup that I use for the swarms that are higher up in the trees. I've got a 5-gallon bucket with a pole, etc. However, you get the bees back down on the ground. There's no reason why you can't use this and put your bees in here. And this is a excellent transportation mechanism to get the bees from wherever the swarm location is into the permanent residence in your apiary. So again, I think Tracy came up with an excellent product here. I would absolutely recommend this. I will put a link in the description to the Hive Butler and their website. I will also link the Hive Butler. I believe you can find it on a lot of the popular beekeeping websites like Man Lake, Dadant, some of the bigger ones. I'm not sure exactly who all Tracy has carrying her product, but I'm sure if you do a Google search, you'll be able to find it pretty easily. But I'll go ahead and put a link down into the description. So that's it for this video. I hope all my fellow beekeepers out there are having fun capturing lots of swarms like I am. It's already Swarmageddon here, and it's 100% on. These bees are just going absolutely berserk. And I am very grateful and happy to have this Hive Butler to help me in my swarm capturing activities. So hope you all enjoyed this. Be sure to check out the Hive Butler, and I'll see you guys on the next video.